Hello, I am working ahead into the flannels, and this is a really nice fabric for me to introduce people to what to look for, how to label the fabric, how to measure it, and other details that you would like to make note of as I get my inventory under control. I do have a lot of flannel. I just piled up some here on the table real quick. It's actually a black piece right here, and I love this one. I don't know why, it just speaks to me. This one has been pre-shrunk. I originally bought, I think, about 15 yards of this one, and this is 45 inches wide. And that one I will be rolling onto a bolt. I'll be rolling most of these onto a bolt. And then when I'm ready to start demonstrating why and how I roll it onto a bolt, then I will be showing those too. So now you see that I have plaids here, and the fabric for flannel, the fabric width is typically 42 to 45. I say 42 because usually when it's pre-shrunk, it will come down a couple inches in width and length. When it's a plaid, we're going to measure the pattern repeat, and we will with a print too, in case that is an important factor of whatever you're going to make it into. Some of the flannels nowadays are coming out 58 to 60 inches wide. They are being made on a different type of loom. Different types of factories are producing it versus the ones that were traditionally domestic here in the United States. And so those will also be considered, and they will be put on the 10 by 30 boards rather than the 10 by 20 boards. This one is 60 wide. I just happen to know that. So the black one, this has been pre-shrunk. I remember doing it. I go up to the laundromat and I do a whole bunch of them at once. I put them all in a washing machine and it looks like flannel gone wild. Then with the plaids here, one of the things that I always want to take into consideration is the repeat. And so that would also be part of the tag that I would put on this. And so when I'm looking at it, I'll get some of these out of the way. My repeat goes from black to black, and then when I am going from selvage edge, that's a selvage edge, it will go also from black to black. So this is actually an uneven plaid because it does not mirror image itself all the way across, but it is a balanced plaid because it repeats itself both directions. Okay, so you have the black stripe going up here with the gradients going beside it, and you have the black stripe going across here with the gradients going beside it. Okay, so that's a balanced plaid, but it is not an even plaid. An unbalanced would be one pattern going this way, and then let's say all this light was missing going the other direction. That would be an uneven and a non-balanced plaid. And actually, I was reading something in one of my newer textile textbooks that some of the companies still send me because I used to teach textile science. And it was the first time I had ever heard this terminology. And I really had to sit down and think about what did they say? And I mean, in essence, yes, they are correct. Because in textiles, there's always an exception to every rule. And so what they were talking about was plaids are actually, in essence, two-way stripe fabrics. And that stopped me cold and bothered me for the rest of the day. And I thought, that was a first in I don't know how many years of something. So that was my new information that I learned. Okay, so back to this. So I will be marking on the tags, and I will give samples of the tags for people to be able to download if it's something they're interested in doing. I would be marking whether it's been pre-washed, whether it's still unwashed. I would be marking its care instructions, its fiber content. Obviously, I know already these are all 100% cotton because I'm very picky about what I purchase. So I don't have to really worry about writing down the the fiber percentages unless it's a blend. And then I will make a note of that when I actually buy something and tag it and stick it in the yardage. So this is part one. And a funny story about plaids and about flannels is I make usually flannel pajamas that I wear year round. I know you want to know that. And rag quilts. I love rag quilts. The way that they mold around me and the weight of them are just wonderful. Plaids, obviously the same thing for sleepwear. And lots of times, obviously, for shirts, dresses, whatever. And if you get the better quality flannels, and those are starting to run more around $15 a yard. Sometimes you can get them on sale for about $10, but that will be your really, really nice yarn dyed, and usually a really much nicer flannel. It will have a higher thread count per inch versus this one has a lower thread count, which makes it a lot more soft, and it'll brush easier when it's going through the machines that raise all the nap on them. So with this particular one, this is a denser weave structure. It has a harder yarn twist or higher yarn twist. And even though it's brushed on both sides, it doesn't have the high nap that your sleepwear will have. This will wear better. And for example, I used to make clothes for other people at one time in my life, family members, and actually it was this weight of this blue one right here. I made a couple of flannel shirts, one for each one of my brothers and one for my dad, okay, ages ago, and back in the dark ages, actually, now I think about it. And anyway, so here I made the shirts and, long forgot about them. And I'm driving down the road one day and I thought, man, there's a guy bent over working in his garden, and I'd swear I've seen that plaid before. It's like, I know I made something out of that exact same plaid. That's just so uncanny. And then the guy stands up, and it's my brother wearing the shirt that I had made him 15 years prior. So when you invest in the fabric to match what the end product will be, there can be a lot of longevity about it, and especially with today's sustainability, those are things to consider when you're purchasing fabric. So this is just getting my flannel ready, and I will get into how to roll it, how to measure it, how to mark it if there's flaws, how to mark it for pattern repeats, and all those other types of things so that you can really have a great inventory of what you have on hand. Thank you if you've listened this far. Have a great week.